I grew up in Pontiac, Michigan. I was named after my father. My father was a twin. His brother's name was Pinklon, believe it or not. I'm glad I was named after my father, Pinklon, instead of Pinklon. And it was funny, they couldn't pronounce my father's name in school, so the teacher gave him the name of Pinkerton. So so they could pronounce it and he could remember it. And of course, when I was going to school, kids would, you know, how you go through the first grade, second grade, third grade. I had some of the same guys or girls in the classroom. When they got to my name, it was like, they say, they'd get to laughing, you know, because they would always mess up my first name, last name, thinking my first name was my last name. I figured around the third grade, I said, man, I got to do something with this name. I got to make something out of my name because I got to become somebody. I'm gonna get laughed out of my life, you know? So, of course, I began to play sports and I excelled in sports and I began to hear my name, as they call my name, or the loudspeaker, you know, started making the newspaper. And Pinklon Thomas became my household name. And of course, I made my father proud. I excelled in all other sports like basketball and football and track. I had a great time in track. I got married at 17. I hadn't finished school. I had a son. And I didn't know I went from a state, from Michigan, being grown, considered grown at 18, to a state in Seattle was 21. So I became a minor all over again. Plus I was really a thug. So I had to make a decision. So they had the Sonics, the Seahawks, and the Mariners, and then they had boxing. And I had to have a college degree to do all of that and be known by the coaches. And boxing was one-on-one. All I had to do was have a heart. And I found a coach. In preparation, trying to get to the championship, I stayed kind of independent from management after I became 10-0. And I worked with a few different promoters, but I had the opportunity to fill in and be prepared for fights. I always say preparation is the key. And different fights would come up and I would be preparing for a fight, and all of a sudden, one of them would fall out. And when somebody would fall out, I would have the opportunity to fill in. So that's when my opportunities arose. And one was, I got a call from Don King, who gave me an opportunity to fight on the all-heavyweight card in Cleveland. So that was a great move when I was able to fight one of the fighters that was known and then beat him. You know, and after I beat him, I was on the hunt for Larry Holmes. I was on the hunt for him, no joke. That was just something back in the 80s, in that era, in that time. He was a man, and I needed to get to him to become the ultimate, which the opportunity never came because he never came through. But that was a moment that I pushed for. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I did become champion anyway. Holyfield's won. He was very fast. I fought him. He had just moved to a heavyweight from the cruiserweights. He had one fight as a heavyweight. He fought Tillis. Then we fought, and he had great hand speed. Mike Tyson is a good fighter. I, had that opportunity to fight this young man. Thank God for Jim Jacobs, his ex-manager, who really I felt had a lot of control over Mike, and gave me an opportunity because he knew me and knew that I was deserving of an opportunity to get a shot at the title rather, and he made it happen for me. I didn't come from a ghetto, troubled life, you know, but I chose it, put it towards I brought all that on myself. Just from a young man of getting caught up in the fast lane of life, at the same time being an athlete, I'm thinking that I can mix them both and make them both work, which is preposterous, impossible. I didn't know that at the time, but as time went on, and you know, at the same time, I'm winning championships, I'm breaking records, but then I'm living like a knucklehead, trying to be a gangster. And that wasn't a good thing. So really, for a young man or a young lady to become a professional or an amateur fighter, of course they need guidance, someone who could teach the art, be able to handle the management of them. But more importantly, they've got to have it here. They've got to have it in their heart. And they got to be able to be ruffled. They got to be able to handle the adversities, because it's not easy. It's a tough game. Mental, the physical, the spiritual, the whole aspect of it is tough. You got to be a tough cookie. And I say, repeat over and over again, never stop learning about the sport, because as of today, I still, it's magical. You never stop learning. And I love the game. I love the sport. I love the people around the sport. And I feel like I'm a motivator. I'm very motivated because of the cause, because of where I've been, what I've been through. I've been through, as Angelo said, more stuff than Carter got pills. And I enjoy what I do. And I want to share that with young people and older people. And I just want to give direction. I want to teach. I want to teach the art. I want to teach physical conditioning skills, not only about boxing, but in life, in general. What it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a woman, what it takes respect. I want to give out a good recipe, a good diet that you can live by. Me, of course, I don't live by a diet. I've always been a heavyweight, and I still can eat a turkey and I ain't gonna gain no weight. I just love to eat, but more importantly, I love to work out.